Now I would like to call up Rajesh Dhuddu, VP Market Development for True.
The missing presentation has been traced, so I am back here again. So in terms of centers of excellence and some thoughts, first let's understand what is excellence. It's said excellence can be attained if one can care more than others think is wise, risk more than others think is safe, dream more than others think is practical, and expect more than others think is possible. So this is what defines excellence. In the context of this particular definition, let's see in terms of what is excellence and what is happening to excellence in the world of the BPO industry today. Before that, I would like to bring up a question. The question is, does excellence and recognition of excellence change over a period of time? I believe it is. And to substantiate that, I have two examples, easy to relate examples from the world of sport. Let's go back in the time machine to 1920s. And if we talk about sprinting, and if we talk about a 100-meter dash, excellence was when the man has achieved the distance of 100 meters in 10.6 seconds. Now, where does this stand today? How does this benchmark compare? If you look at Usain Bolt, who is the fastest man on the earth today, he's completed it in 9.58 seconds. Okay, there's a fraction of a difference, 10.6 and 9.58. But today, a man who runs at 10.6 seconds doesn't even feature in the 100 most fastest men in this planet, or 100 most fastest women in this planet. So what has happened? 1920, 10.6 seconds was excellence, but today it is not excellence. Let us look at another example. Jahir Abbas, most of us at least I grew up watching him, and his fastest century was in 72 balls. And today, if we look at all forms of cricket, assuming that this performance has not been fixed, it has been achieved in 13 balls, right? How many of us today would like to pay money to watch a cricketer, a batsman, who would like to score a century in 72 balls? At least I am not interested. I am sure none of you would also be interested. So again, what happened to excellence? Is this not a world record? It was a world record in the year 1982, but now it is in 2013, it crunched, or it got compressed by more than 50%. Now let's see what's happening to our world in terms of the BPO industry. Let's apply this concept of excellence in the BPO industry. The industry has gone through various stages of evolution. The industry began by delivering contact center work for customers across the planet, right? That kind of shrunk the planet, and people have said we kind of live in a flat world. And that concept came to the concept of captives. And then it went on to third party in terms of call centers, horizontal services, and then bundled and transformational services, wherein people said, we don't want to be just a service provider, but we want to be a business partner. But all these concepts are the concepts of the Esther years. In terms of, they were definition of excellence during the period of 1990 to 2008. From 2008 onwards, let's see how do we define excellence, right? Okay. Before I get into the case study, I would like to dwell a little more about what is not excellence and what is excellence. Multi-shift utilization. Most of us talk about, my shift utilization is not very good. I need to get a highest shift utilization. This is not excellence. Multi-seat utilization. Again, not excellence in today's world. Lift and shift operation. Applied, all these were good concepts in the past. Transform the mess for less. Hey, my operations is pretty messy. You can do it at a lower cost. Please take this operation, offshore it, and transform it. Those concepts. Then cost reduction, business process management, transaction-based pricing, upfront investments in technology, fascination with big brands. This is the world that we all know. We are very familiar with all these things. According to me, they no more sit under the category of excellence. If that's so, what is excellence? Excellence is about multi-utilization of resources. It's a blasphemy in the BPO industry when you tell a client, I'm going to use people that have been staffed for you in a period of lower utilization. I would like to utilize them for other clients. Nobody is going to accept, at least from a large client segment. But today smart companies are talking about not just multi-seat utilization, multi-shift utilization, but they're talking about multiple utilization of resources. Platform-based services. I bring in the technology. Hey client, forget about the technology platform that you have. Don't worry about the remote access to your technology. I will bring in the technology, state-of-the-art technology, and I'll onboard you on that particular technology. Revenue enhancement. Yes, we've taken an approach saying that cost reduction, I'll cut your cost by so much. But have we ever spoken about revenue enhancement? How much revenue can I add to you? Yeah, excluding processes like sales and lead generation processes where the basic construct of the agreement is to enhance the revenues. If you exclude those processes and look at other processes, predominantly it revolves around cost reduction and not revenue enhancement. Then business process creation and implementation. Again, in the industry, if you go to NASCOM today, people talk about we are no more BPO, we are BPM, business process management. According to me, that is not excellence. Excellence is when you start creating business processes for your customers. It's about creation and it is not about management. Then transaction plus outcome-based pricing. I pay you based on the work you have delivered for me. I pay you based on the outcome that has been triggered by the activities that you have undertaken. And most importantly, lowering the total cost of ownership. It's not about year-on-year reduction in the contract price, but what does it take as a total cost of ownership for me to run this particular process for you. And then buying from trusted sources. So, this is what seems to define the word excellence in today's world. And from a case study perspective, before we get into the case study, I would like to, okay, you have heard about all those concepts. If those concepts are applicable, for a moment you are with those concepts, then let's see what are the aspects that create excellence. Platform-based servicing, outcome-based pricing, and multi-tenancy capability. Somebody in the session today, somebody in the event today, in the morning session spoke about multi-tenancy capabilities. So if we apply all these aspects and if we look at a company, I tried very hard to look at an example because it is not a sales pitch, it is going fundamentally against my profession, which is marketing. I don't want to come here and sell Quattro, but I tried very, very hard to find an alternate example in today's world. Since I was not able to find any, I am forced to present to you the case study of Quattro. So given that, how do we went about executing the game plan? Mid-market focus. That's where all the concepts that I presented to you under the ambit of excellence are applicable. in terms of a technical support and in terms of accounting services. Prima facie, they seem very generic. You may ask me what's a big deal in providing technical support and accounting services. We are not talking about the services. We are talking about the way those services are delivered. We are talking about the customer segments to whom those services are delivered. Technical support service is from, in our context, it's a business to customer context, which is B2C. And accounting, it is a B2B, but I would like to define that later part of the B as B2SMB, small and medium business owners, where the services are delivered on a platform that is used by multiple clients, not just one client, and delivered by the resources who are deployed for multiple clients and not just for one client. Then in the BFS, card processing, what has got a BPO company to do with card processing, you may ask. And in the earlier session, just before mine, we heard about first data and stuff like that. Today, the mid-market banks find it extremely difficult to get the service on the spot from a behemoth called first data. And they spend thousands and thousands, millions and millions of dollars, wherein the return on investment on their card programs is very, very minimal. So we said, let's offer a multi-tenancy platform for card processing, which will be offered through a combination of remote as well as local fulfillment. Then mortgage services, knowledge services, and gaming services. The last service, it's an interesting service. One day I would like to take up a job in that business vertical where we pay people to come to the office in an AC environment, and we pay those people for playing games, wherein we do the bug testing for the games before the games are launched in the marketplace, and the bug testing happens on multiple devices. Today you have Android, today you have Apple iOS, RIM, tablets and whatnot. So the customer experience needs to be the same with regards to the game across these multiple devices, across these operating systems, and that's what we test. And in terms of newer geographies, Middle East and Asia Pacific, we predominantly we've heard about business process outsourcing to customers in US, North America, then in United Kingdom and stuff like that. There are few service providers like Circo who are focusing on Middle East and Asia Pacific. We would like to focus on these markets again for the mid-market customer segment. And then, as I mentioned, in terms of cloud-based BPaaS platforms, today, again, I think Abhishek spoke about BPaaS, PaaS and stuff like that. We have actually implemented that over the last 5 years. Let me take the example of SAP. We have a global arrangement with SAP, wherein we offer SAP as a multi-platform at a price point which is an absolute shocker. We offer SAP-based accounting at a price point of about $10,000 per annum. And when we took this particular proposition to SAP guys said that they have to pay more even to the salesman who will go and sell out this particular service. So basically, this is just a small example. So in terms of the platforms have been built not just in one particular business segment, but in multiple business segments. Then excellence is about driving non-linear growth. Today the analysts talk a lot about non-linear growth, and valuations are also linked to the non-linear growth. So how does this non-linear growth come? We looked at platform multi-tenancy, we looked at and through other aspects like skill-based service delivery. It is like an assembly line which Henry Ford has invented. He used to say, I will supply any color of the car as long as it is black. Right? So from that perspective, we've kind of adopted assembly line kind of a processing wherein the client's processes in terms of, let's say, a general ledger goes through that particular assembly line, and our people work on those general ledger aspects regardless to which client the GL activity belongs to. And then, as I said earlier, multi-client resource sharing and right-should delivery. So these are the aspects in today's world which are driving excellence, and And the outcome is a company that has 3,500 customers, services 15,000 clients, 1 million retail customers. On an average, there are 4.25 SMB clients per employee, 4.25 SMB clients and 286 retail customers, with the revenue per employee varying from $42,000 to $122,000. When I present these numbers, some people ask me, hey, do you do some IT work as well? Because the revenue per head count, the revenue per FTE is pretty high. No, this is all BPO work. Of course, it is an on-site work and it is not a remote site work. And are we the only people who are saying that this is excellence? No. The industry has also recognized this. They kind of recognize that it is a new benchmark of excellence. And it's extremely, extremely pleasing to note that through these recognitions, it kind of proves that we are not loony, we are not a bunch of loony people, but we are a bunch of people who are trying to architect yet another trend in the industry. Thank you. Any questions, we'll be happy to answer. Okay, I take that as no. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Rajesh. That was an inspiring session on BPO leadership. So we know that